Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Amazing Rare Rubies, ABC's of Finance moment. I pray that everybody's week is just going wonderfully well today, wonderfully well. As you are coming in, just kind of get comfortable, get your coffee or get your juice or whatever you need this morning, as we just take a couple of minutes to literally talk about how we can enhance our financial literacy, because that's what this moment is all about. It's just taking a little time each week to look at some tips and some nuggets that enhance our financial literacy to becoming one step at a time. That's pretty much it. Nothing difficult, right? So, Amazing Rare Rubies, as you know, we are a women's organization designed to encourage women to become the woman God created them to be. We have found over the last 5 years in working with women and looking at how can we be this virtuous woman? How can we practice these characteristics to becoming? How can they truly begin to become part of who we are? As we begin to practice how to make that happen, we found that so many of us are truly struggling with our finances. And finances is one of the pillars to us being well-rounded. If you read in Proverbs, you'll see that she goes and she buys a vineyard. She purchases a field and she actually begins to plant a vineyard and put people to work. What does that tell you? It means that she definitely had some financial savviness going on, right? It also talks about how she was able to make deals with the merchants, right? And go out and sell and make trade and bring home great things for her family. What does that tell you? It tells you again that there's some financial savviness there. And what we were finding is that a lot of women are struggling with finances right now and in that bucket of financial instability and living paycheck to paycheck. And that is not the life that God intended for us. He did not intend for us to live a debt and worry life. He intended for us to be in the land of milk and honey, to enjoy, to be able to be the lender, not the borrower, right? And we talk about that all the time. But we've got to educate ourselves on some of these things that will help enhance our financial literacy to becoming. So, one of the things we talk about is lamps. And I talk about this in every Amazing Rare Rubies ABCs of Finance moment. And the reason I talk about it is because it's the acronym that God gave us around enhancing our financial literacy. And it comes from Psalms 119:105, which basically says God is a lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path. We believe that we need this light. Yes, we do, in order to help us as we're on this journey to becoming, right? So the acronym stands for L, literacy. It's enhancing our knowledge and our skills. I say all the time, knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. So we want to make sure we have this knowledge, yes, but we also want to make sure we apply it. And what does that mean? It means we have to be accountable. The A, accountable, taking responsibility and being a good steward over what God has trusted us with. So not only do we want to learn about these little nuggets, right? We also want to make sure that we are applying them in our life. Applied knowledge, correct? And then there's the management, right? Managing what he's trusted us with. Do you know where you're allocating your money to? Are you making proper decisions to make sure you have a positive return on investment? Are you making sure you're telling your money where to go, which leads to the P, planning, right? Planning. What are you doing with your income? What are you doing when you're paying out your expenses? Do you understand them? Are you looking at and ensuring that you're constantly adding to your savings and your investments, right? Are you doing those particular things? And then there's the S, stability. And this is where we have a solid foundation around our finances. It's so important. A solid foundation around our finances. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started today. And today, we're going to talk about fees. Let's talk fees. This is a big one. A lot of people don't think about the different types of fees out there. And trust me, there's a list of them that individuals, have and they're charged and they incur throughout the month or the year or what have you. Check this particular stat out. This one is going to blow your mind. That's right. Average American pays over $500 a year in fees. These are fees. Yes, convenience cost. We don't think a lot about it because it's easy for us, right? They've made things so simple for us. You know, hey, I can just give you this plastic, you can swipe it, I'm good to go. We're not thinking about what these fees truly add up to. And right now, today, the annual occurring fees for the United States is over $3 trillion. Did you hear that? $3 trillion. These are annual fees that people are paying that they truly don't think about. But today we're going to talk about some of these common fees, and then I'm going to give you just one tip. Seriously, just one tip of what you can do to begin to abate some of these fees. And we've talked about this tip before. Yes, we have. We've talked about it. But again, we don't really think about it and go out and apply these things. That's why I say it's not that knowledge is power. Applied knowledge is power. We've got to apply the things that we are learning so that we can have a positive return, a positive experience when it comes down to our money. Positive return on investment, positive experience. So let's talk about some of these fees, right? Let's start with one of the first ones, a convenience fee. I know everybody's heard about a convenience fee, right? And this is basically where you pay a fee for having the luxury of paying for something in an alternative method. So it's not that what I'm buying has cost more money. It's not that your services are costing me more money. You're charging me a convenient fee for me to be able to pay in a method that you normally don't take. That's what a convenient fee is. Where do we see this convenient fee a lot? When we're paying for things online. Yeah, because it's the convenience for you. One of the biggest places where we see this is in utilities. People pay convenient fees to pay their utilities. Why? A lot of times they forgot about it. They're running late. I don't feel like going there. Don't want to mail it off. Whatever, just different reasons, right? And so it's like, let me just go online, let me pay it. And I've seen convenient fees that are from $3 up to like $6 and $7. And this is for you to pay your own bill. So just think about if you're paying that convenience fee every month. That's something you truly want to think about. How smart is that? With our money that we're paying people to pay our bills. That one right there kind of makes me itch because I don't want to pay you to pay my bill. I already don't want to pay what the electric bill cost. Then you want me to pay you a convenience fee because I'm going through a method that you may not necessarily use a lot. One thing I've learned, I use an app called Prism, and I use it to pay some of my bills. And I use it to pay pretty much probably about 80-90% of them. But one bill that I will not pay through Prism is my gas bill. I will not pay that through Prism. Why? Because when I go in, even though I have my bank account connected, right, I go in to pay it. It tells me on my gas bill as I'm going through it that there is a convenience fee, and they want to charge me $2.95 to pay my gas bill. I think not. So I don't pay it. I called them and said, hey, what's another way that I can pay this bill? And since the pandemic happened, they stopped charging people fees on their website. I still can't go through Prism, but on their website, I can do it and not have to pay for it. Now, the other method is, of course, I can always drive to their location. So one thing that I've started doing is I'm watching to see when they stop if they start back, charging that convenience fee on their website, then I'm going to drive my payment there. Yes, they're about 5 miles from my house, but check this out. I pass that way to go and get my hair fixed. I pass that way going to the Mall of Georgia. Yes, I like to go shopping too, right? My brother stays over that way. They're like a mile from him. So I am going to make it convenient for me where I get to keep that $2.95 that they want to charge me in my pocket. So that's one fee, a convenient fee. So begin to look and check and see if you're being charged convenient fees. Another big one is processing fees. Yeah, processing fees is where the merchant, so where you're going to buy whatever, that merchant can charge you a processing fee for using the payment. Now, normally the credit card is going to charge that merchant, right? And say, in order for you to offer your customers MasterCard or Visa, we're going to charge you a 1% or 1.5%, whatever it is, fee. Okay. And that's great as long as that merchant doesn't pass it on to you. So that's what you want to check when you're using your credit card. That's part of why a lot, I won't say a lot because I don't run into it often, but some places don't accept American Express because they can't pass that fee on to me. And when they don't accept American Express, it's like, okay, well, let me use cash or let me use my debit card and make sure you don't charge a debit card fee. That's another one. They can charge you a debit card fee. Yes, they can. So you want to check and make sure that's not happening. Okay. Here's another one for you. These banking fees. Banking fees. This is a big one. This is where we're paying people to keep our money. You're already taking the money that we put in our account and you're investing it, using it for loans and all this other stuff. Don't think your money is just sitting there. Banks are using this money so that they can make some money as well. Okay, I get that. You're holding my money, so you're going to kind of use it, kind of like what the government does when people get all excited about getting a tax refund, where the government has held your money all year, right? And now you're going to get it back, what you overpaid. And we get excited about that. Not sure why, but we do, right? But these banking fees is where, okay, you have a checking account with me and I'm going to charge you to keep your money in my bank. And basically, when they charge these checking fees, it's because we don't have a minimum balance. Now, the key here is to understand truly, what's the minimum balance that's required in order for you not to have that checking fee? And that's what I would encourage you to do. If you're going to use a bank, right, at least make sure they're not charging you a checking fee. That's why a lot of people will go to a credit union. Most credit unions you can only get into if you're like with the government or military job, or if you have a job and that company has a relationship with a credit union. And that's why when most people do get a credit union account, they don't cancel them, right? They kind of keep them. But one thing you want to check is your checking account to see if you have fees there, right? The other one is ATM fees. Now, this one is a big one. This is one that everybody should instantly stop doing if they're doing. The average ATM fee is about $1.50 to $3.50 and sometimes even $4. You know, don't go to, out of town or go to have fun at a theme park or go to adventure type stuff and use their ATMs, which are not even the banks, they're those independent ones. They really charge you some money to get your own money out. But ATM fees, it's a common one. And here's the thing, when people go and they take that money out, it's not like they're saying, well, I'm gonna pay $1.50 to get $200-$300 out. I'm paying $1.50 to get $20. Now I'm not gonna pay $1.50 to even get $200-$300 out. I refuse to pay to withdraw my own money. I'm not going to do that. I encourage you, stop doing those ATM fees. Stop. Just stop. You'll be amazed at how much money you're going to save. Again, the average American is paying over $500 in fees a year. If somebody walked up to you and gave you $500 right now, would you just say, well, no, I'm good. I don't want it. No, we're going to take that $500. You're like, wow, thank you so much, right? I can go pay some bills with this. I can save 10% of it. You knew I was going to throw that in there. It's unexpected money. Save 10% of it, right? But check those ATM fees. The other one is overdraft. Stop spending what you don't have. Stop spending what you don't have. That's important. We got to stop doing that, right? Now, here's the thing with these banking fees and why I push that you need to make sure you're not paying banking fees, because banking fees actually can increase. That's why you got that range when it comes down to like ATM fees and stuff like that, or even bounce check fees, like a return check fee. Those fees can change because as interest rates drop, the banks can, and normally do, increase their other fees. Why? Because the interest rates are low and I really can't make as much money as I would make off of loans and things like that. So in order for me to make up for that money, we go to the common area, which a lot of people fall into, which is ATM fees, overdraft fees, checking account fees. People fall into that. So check those banking fees. And there's more. I'm just giving you the common ones here, okay? Then there's credit card fees. Oh yeah, that's a big one. And we know that's a big one, right? We already pay interest on credit cards if you're not paying your card off at the end of every month. This is important why you don't want to carry over credit card balance, because those interest rates, those interest fees can really kill you there. So you want to watch out for that. The annual fee. A lot of credit card companies now charge annual fees. You have some that don't. But then you can also call and say, hey, look, I've been a great customer. I pay my bill at the end of every month. Not only am I paying it on time, I'm paying it off. I need you to waive this annual fee. Sometimes they will do that for you. Call, find out. Don't just pay the annual fee just to be paying it. And then if you are paying an annual fee, if you do have a card that you're paying an annual fee, are you making sure that you're getting that annual fee back? So what do I mean by that? So my husband and I, we pay an annual fee using an American Express, but we also do Sky Miles because for his job, he travels. So where he has hundreds of thousands of Sky Miles, we get free trips, right? Because we're using those Sky Miles to travel here, go there, fly here, come back, whatever. And it's definitely more beneficial to us than the annual fee. So make sure if you're paying an annual fee, right, it's going to be worth your while on that. Then there are late payments. Now on a credit card, late payments can be anywhere between like $29 up to like $40 because you paid your bill late. Again, we want to make sure we're paying on time. You don't want them to slip those fees in on you. And trust me, they will put them in on you and you're responsible for them because when you got the credit card, guess what? It's in the fine print. You know, I told you guys, the big print gives, but the fine print taketh away. So you want to read that fine print, okay? That's in there. Then there's cash advances. Oh my God, the cash advance fees. That's a whole bill by itself. What you pay to get cash off of your credit card. And it starts instantly as you take that withdrawal out, right then and there. And you can turn around that same day and go to your credit card company, like if you use Chase or somebody like that that's local here in Georgia, you can go there, walk inside, pay that bill the same day or the next day, pay it completely off. And still the next month, you're going to have a bill with interest rate that's due because they start instantly with those fees. So you want to, I'm really having trouble with this shirt today, even though I have a cute little shirt on and that's my shirt strap showing. It's just not cute on camera. My apologies there. But cash advance, make sure if you're going to use that, know exactly what you're getting yourself into because your cash advance fees are going to be higher than just using your regular credit card, swiping it fees. Okay. And then again, watch out for those late payments. But here's one I really want you to think about because it's something you can do today that will help you when it comes down to abating some of these fees, right? One thing is check your insurance policies, like your car insurance. Check that. Yes, because guess what? If you're paying your car insurance monthly, 9 times out of 10, you have a convenience fee on there or a processing fee. And a lot of times in the small print, they'll call it an admin fee. Yeah, you want to check that. Why? Because you want to make sure you're not paying to pay your car insurance. And if you're paying monthly, 9 times out of 10 you are, because that fee is about $3 to $5 per month. And it's an admin convenience fee, like I said, or a processing fee. And it basically is them charging you to choose to pay monthly instead of like every 6 months or yearly, whichever one your insurance company will accept. Some insurance companies will only do 6 months. But think about it. Let's just say that fee is $5 a month and you're paying monthly. That's $60 a year that you're paying that really doesn't go towards your insurance. It goes towards somebody processing your payment. The administrative that has to go in, the administrator that has to go in, maybe click a couple of buttons and hit enter to say that you paid your bill. You're paying about $3 to $5 for that. Looking at the high end, that's $60 a year. Who wants to pay that? I don't know about you, but I don't. So you might want to look at, how can I get rid of that fee I need to pay every 6 months to every year? Just a thought for you. And then I would suggest definitely list out all of your bills, look at them, and understand if you're paying fees there. These are little things that we don't think about, that we just go ahead and do because it's so ingrained in us to have the convenience. Where the convenience is not always good. Comfortable is not always best. And these are fees that people have been paying for years and years and years, not thinking about it. So let's look at some of that. Let's just kind of say you are one of these people that's in that $500 a year that you're paying in fees. Well, if you're paying $500 a year, oh my God, 500 times 10, 10 years, you're going to pay $5,000 in fees. Or break that in half, $250. You're going to pay $2,500 in fees. And we wonder where our money goes. Thought for you, right? Here's a tip for you, though. Well, you know, I always talk about using your having your emergency money. I encourage people to definitely have your emergency fund, right, which is separate, where you have $500 to $1,000, and you have that tucked away somewhere nicely where you can get your hands on it in the event of a small unplanned emergency, such as my microwave broke, I got a flat tire, those type of things, or I need to go to urgent care. You have that emergency fund money, right? So this is a little separate here. This is where I tell people, carry you some emergency money with you. If you can't carry $50, start at 20. Can't carry 20, start at 10. Begin to be right where you are. And this is where you take that little money, tuck it somewhere, and the goal is to not have to use it, right? But if you run into where you are purchasing something or you're doing something and you know that there's a fee involved, guess what? Pull out the cash. It's going to save you some money. It's going to save you maybe $2 or $3 that day. But again, it adds up. If the average American is paying $500 a year in fees, come on, that's a lot of money. What could you do with $500 right now? So it's the small things that begin to add up that helps us get to some additional financial stability. Okay, so I encourage you, use emergency money. Start carrying a little bit with you. It doesn't have to be a whole lot. $20, if you can start there, great. $50, if you could do that, even better. But let's at least try to start with $20 emergency money, right? And the key is to try to wipe out some of these convenient fees and processing fees and different things of that sort. Go back, look at your bank statement, look and see if you're being charged banking fees. What can you do to eliminate some of those? Go back and look at your credit cards, understand what you're being charged there, and look at your bills, right? Your electric bill, your gas bill, your insurance that you're paying on your car. Look at those things and where you can get those processing fees removed or those convenient fees removed. Do that. Okay? Do that for yourself. All right. Last but not least, of course, you know, with the ABCs of Finance, we also have our ABCs of Finance class, right? And our next class is coming up May 12th. That is open right now for registration. You can go to our website, and that's going to be www.amazingwarerubies.com, and you can sign up for this class. What I'm going to put up on the screen for you right now is our QR code. You can scan this code with your phone or what have you, and this code will take you directly to our website where you can sign up. I would encourage you, if you want to attend this class, get in on it quickly. Our April class, we're already starting that. We have a class starting tomorrow. That's a done deal. We're finishing up our March class this weekend. So we have some folks that's getting some great information, and they're adding to their repertoire of financial literacy so that they can ensure, as they're making decisions, they can be important, effective actions, right? That's going to bring them a return on their investment. So our May 12th class will be coming up. That class itself is going to be at 7 p.m. Each class is a 2-hour class. This is a 4-part session. So it starts May 12th, and it's going to go every Thursday for 4 Thursdays. Every Thursday for 4 Thursdays. Okay, 7 p.m. The investment right now, guys, get this deal while you can because it's not going to last long. In about 2 or 3 months, prices probably will be increasing. But right now, this 4-part series is $100. It's like paying $25 per class. That's it. And that's not a lot to enhance your own financial literacy. And in this class, we're going to learn a lot about attaining debt-free status, budgeting down to zero, and how to create cash flow. And these are action-packed classes. I can promise you, it's not any frilly stuff. It is not for the faint at heart. This is for individuals who are truly ready to start, change, and walk out that financial journey to becoming and making sure that they're not leaving debt and worry curses, right? We're leaving legacy and generational wealth, building wealth. And check it out. We may not be the ones that really get to see the high point, right, of where this education could really take our generations, our families, right, to come. We may not be here to see all of that, but we definitely want to be part of starting that foundation, right, where your children and their children and their children are not always starting over and we're always starting back at we need to learn how to do. So let's begin to be now. Let's learn about this financial literacy and get ourselves to where we need to be right now. So that if we don't pass on anything else in our generation, we pass on the knowledge, right? The know-how, so that the next generation will be able to apply it. Because remember, applied knowledge is power, right? So they can apply it and they can begin to break some of these generational curses and they can begin to build wealth. That's what we want. So again, the next ABCs of Finance class is going to start May 12th at 7 p.m. Also, we strongly encourage that individuals, where's my book? Here it is. I was going to say, where's my book? We strongly encourage that individuals get the workbook to go along with this class. This workbook is a $15 investment. Yep, a $15 investment. And I will tell you, the classes thus far are so glad that they invested in this workbook. It's a page-by-page, step-by-step of what we're going to cover. And of course, we always add some nuggets and different things in there that's not necessarily in the book. But this is a great book to be able to go back and look at and say, well, what did she say about, or what did I learn about? And be able to go back to this book and say, oh yeah, I remember when we talked about the types of debt and she was walking us through that. Let me go back and assess my debt, right? And see where it falls. So this book, we encourage individuals to get is $15 on our website, which of course that information is still up in front of you. You can scan that QR code and that QR code will take you to our website, and it's available hard copy, which is a softback, or you can get it on Kindle. You can download it, right? So again, go to our website, sign up for the ABCs of Finance class that starts May 12th. As always, Amazing Rare Rubies, we pray that our information is beneficial to you. I hope hearing some of this information today about fees was something that kind of made you have an aha moment of, oh my goodness, I need to go back and check my stuff and see where I'm paying some of these fees. Because when the average American, again, we're going to put that back up there just so you can see it one more time. The average American is paying over $500 in fees a year. Oh my gosh. And most of that is where we are paying people to pay for our own stuff. Oh, we got to stop doing that. Now, another big chunk of that, though, which I did not mention, another big chunk of that is where individuals are paying fees because of bad credit. Goes back to why we need to learn about some of these basics here. How to attain debt-free status, how to budget down to zero, how to create cash flow, right? That's why we got to learn about some of these things. Because, yep, that's a big chunk of that $500 as well, where because my credit score is below the average, and right now it's like, I remember when, 620 was considered good, right? 620 is now like fair to poor in a credit score. So if your credit score is that low, you may be paying additional fees on stuff. Yeah, because your credit isn't good. So we want to make sure we check all this stuff and we know what's going on with these fees, and only pay fees that you understand and that you're okay with paying. Don't pay them just because it's quote unquote convenience. Convenience costs sometimes, and convenience is not always good. But again, with Amazing Rare Rubies, we always hope and pray that this information has been beneficial to you. We encourage you to always, always, always keep God in every decision made, every lesson learned, and you guessed it, every message taught. And until next time, I want you to make sure you make it a Ruby day. Thank you guys for joining, and have a blessed one.
You are going to want to quit because you are human. But you've got to know that you must keep going. Lesson learned and message taught. And until we meet again, make it a Ruby day.